Hey, what's up guys? It's ElasticSpyder here, and in today's video we are looking at some Chapayev gameplay from the previous weekend where we were doing qualifiers for the international tournament. It's basically NA versus EU, and I think there's a few Russian teams in there as well. Not too sure, but basically these are the qualifiers for a tournament where we will be playing some very good players on the EU server, and so basically it's a cross-server tournament. But I'm not just going to feature my Chapayev gameplay, because I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of Chapayev gameplay competitive-wise between me and the Sneaky Snake. So I figured I would put a little bit of a twist on this one, since a twist isn't always that bad. So let me know how you guys think this one goes, and let me know if you want to see more of these in the future. This is actually a teamwork video. I'm going to be featuring obviously my perspective, because I think it's somewhat important to see my perspective, but also my buddy Sterling Archer in the Kutuzov. So we'll be popping in between both mine and his perspectives throughout the gameplay. So my first step of the game is to basically get to this rock and beach. That's my first objective. Sterling Archer is a little bit farther back, but unfortunately, the first, I'd say probably about 7-8 minutes of this game were actually really boring from both of our perspectives. I got a little bit of hits on some of these Amagis, and so did Sterling Archer. He also got some hits at the people that moved up to A, but I'm actually going to fast forward this so you guys don't get bored. So let's go. Alright guys, so that was rather interesting, seeing World of Warships sped up at 4 times speed. Certainly a bit, of course, interesting. So, while we kind of got the first 8 minutes out of the way or so, we're going to actually move on to Sterling Archer's perspective here, and see what he was seeing when I was kind of just sitting behind islands. It's something that you do a lot in the Chapayev. However, I'm trying to incorporate some new tactics into my Chapayev gameplay to make myself more useful. But for the most part, this game I did sit behind a lot of islands. Since this map is pretty heavily concentrated with islands, and the islands, a lot of them you can't actually shoot over, or you can only get a few turrets to bear. So, looking at the minimap, they've got full control of Objective Alpha, pretty much good control of Bravo, I would say. We can contest it, but they've got superior air coverage on Bravo. So any push into Bravo is going to require a lot of effort and a lot of sacrifice, both in planes, in ships, and also in points. So that's not a good move right now. We're gonna have to start dwindling them down and forcing them to make the mistakes sooner or later here. So when I first watched this replay back, I would have actually probably smoked right there, a little bit farther back, where Sterling Archer was. just because I could see all the guys at B, and I could also pelt the guys at C, but the guys at B just went dark, so he's actually going to go and try and smoke Professor Cleo. While he is at probably about half health, it looks like, keeping a Amagi smoked on this flank is very, very critical to keep their Amagis back, and of course, not pressuring our cruisers. So Sterling Archer is going to pop smoke and going to ram Cleo. Unfortunately, I don't think Sterling Archer turned enough, so the smoke screen isn't the best by any means, but it actually looks like Cleo is concealed. You can see the smokestacks. Because that is where the concealment comes from. It is from the middle of your ship, so basically your smokestacks. So looks like Cleo just managed to get in that. Any kind of smoke screen will do in competitive. Even a bad one can be very, very useful and very, very critical. So it looks like Daramagi is pushing for the meantime, and actually maybe not. It looks like he's just doing a complete Yui and turning around. So Sterling Archer is going to start pelting him. And he's just going to do Amagi things like kiting. Our CV looks like she was going after him, trying to set some fires, although it did not look... Okay, no, that was just the bomber way in the back, spotting the Amagi, actually, for us. Destroyer Benson gets spotted. Sterling Archer gets a few nice hits on him. And he pops his Hydra because if you see a Benson out in the middle of nowhere, chances are he is actually torping, and you can see those torpedoes coming in now. Planes are spotting Sterling and will be spotting Cleo pretty soon if the Amagi isn't spotting them already. You can see there, smoke actually goes down fully. Not too sure if Sterling wasn't paying attention or what happened, but sometimes that does happen. Sometimes you do expect Kutuzov's smoke to last a lot longer than it does, and you can kind of be caught off guard a lot of times as well. Takes a Citadel at somewhat of an awkward angle, probably a sub 30-degree angle through the butt. So again, a bit weird, a bit unfortunate. And it wasn't a Citadel because it wasn't, I think, 13,000 damage, but it was a good chunk of his HP. I went to say AP, then I went to say HE, and I didn't get either of those right, and I meant to say HP. So if you combine AP and HE, then you get HP. So, or maybe AE, I don't know. But in any case, so Sterling took some damage, but that's okay. He's at 3/4 health, and he's setting fires and doing Kutuzov-like things, doing damage, setting fires, blowing damage controls, and dodging shells altogether like a boss. So I would guess Sterling's going to be trying to go undetected here and try and move up, because as you can see by the scoreboard, we are looking at a pretty large deficit, 250-point deficit. The enemy team's almost at 800 points with 2 caps secured and pretty good map control. So we're gonna have to start pushing A pretty hard, as well as C, to try and push them off B or make them make a mistake at B. Because as you can see, the guys on A, Raytheon and Rai, are actually pushing them to the guys at B to make a move. So that is going to be something that they're going to have to make a decision on. Rob is in the Benson is smoking our Kutuzov Sterling Archer, and it looks like there is a destroyer on C trying to cap, and you can see those torpedoes getting spotted from our carrier Miso. She did a very good job of spotting those torpedoes while the hydroacoustic search was actually down. So of course that was good on her part. Rob launches some torpedoes into the smoke that the enemy Benson spotted, or the enemy Benson popped. Sterling's going to dodge some torpedoes and get ready for radar because I let them know I can actually reach the guy at sea on radar. So, about to hit radar in 3, 4, 4, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Can't count. Radar's up. Benson's at a little over half health. Our Kutuzov smacks him pretty good, and then he will actually take a torpedo from Rabadou, and that is a Benson down. So we're up to 2. We're up by Bensons on destroyers, but we are still quite behind on points. Again, still a 225-ish point deficit. So, and of course, we moved to my perspective. I wanted to show that perspective from what I saw and what I was looking at. So a nice radar by me to spot that Benson and get him killed. It was very possible that he might have actually died from Rabadou's torps, but so typically in a position like this, I would actually turn my AA off, but it looks like these planes are kind of just suicide spotting me. Not even suicide spotting me, they're just plain old spotting me, while the enemy carrier is losing quite a bit of them. I am still spotted, not now, but I was. In any case, guys at A pushed through A, capped A, and now they've pushed the guys at B, the Chapayev and Alabama, through B and towards me. So in the last like 3-4-ish minutes, maybe even 5 minutes, I've been sitting at this island pretty much all by myself. And if that Alabama would have pushed me earlier, he would have been able to kill me, no problem. Planes come in, and I'm starting to shoot them down, obviously trying to control select them as much as possible. So, at this point, Cleo has moved in the Magi behind me, but there's not much I can do here. If I try and rush him, there's a good chance that I will actually get deleted. There's also a good chance that the Chapayev will finish me off, and there's a good chance that I won't kill the Alabama. So I figured, well, I might as well make my last stand here. There's not much else I can do. The least I could do is at least hold them off and just try and take as much HP as possible. This rock is going to be somewhat crucial here, saving me a little bit from there. I can actually get my 3 and 4 turrets off. The Chapayev has pretty good firing angles on those rear turrets, so I'm actually able to get a fire on the bow and actually on the superstructure as well. Enemy bombers coming in, sending a fire. Don't really care all that much. I know I'm dead here. One mistake on this Alabama's part is he actually came around the corner very, very slow. So I was actually able to get torpedoes off, not onto his torpedo bulge, but actually more onto his bow and right under that first gun. So I was able to get maximum damage and do a lot more there. His shells actually came in. He went for the Citadel under the boilers and was not able to get that. I don't know if it was good angling or what, but I managed to kill him. Or I almost managed to kill him. I managed to basically bounce a lot of his shells. Those should have been Citadels, but Chapayev armor was good. I angled as best as I could for those to actually bounce or do very minimal damage. And I actually watched the stream afterwards, and they were saying that he should have aimed at my front 2 guns, and he actually did with his rear turret, but that was not enough. Chapayev armor helped me out a lot there. And of course, I did not actually get the kill. He got a, I forgot what it's called when you ram someone and live. But I checked after this game. I did not have any more ramming flags. So again, mistake on my part. I'll have to play some more PTS and get some of those. But since then, we have moved on to Sterling Archer's perspective. The enemy carrier gets spotted by our carrier, Miso, and Sterling Archer smokes up and is starting to pelt him. The Alabama died shortly after that, and the Chipai behind that Bama died to, I believe, Aramagi as well. So a lot of ships died very, very quickly there. Had the Alabama gone around the other side, or the Chipai gone around the other side, it could have been a very, very different story. But we're going to kill the carrier. Sterling Archer is going to end this game with around 123,000 damage done, doing Kutuzov things as always. I hope you guys enjoyed this replay. Unfortunately, no screenshots, but again, hope you guys enjoyed this replay. If you did, like, comment, share, and subscribe. But I'll see you guys in the next video.